On Friday, Georgia senators set out guidelines for possible new laws surrounding the participation of transgender athletes in school sports. 11 Alive's Doug Richards has the story.
I think it's indisputable. I know that it's indisputable. Actually, I'm not going to say I think. I know that it is indisputable that there are biological differences between men and women.
The Republican-led Senate Study Committee came up with a list of recommendations to restrict transgender participation in school sports. It urged new laws defining sports based on an athlete's biological sex at birth. It would include public schools and extend it to include private schools that compete with public schools. The law would restrict bathroom access based on birth gender. It would provide civil procedures for grievances and would withhold state funding from schools that don't comply. And it would prevent the Georgia High School Association and others from enacting such rules, instead writing them into state law.
I was surrounded by many who understood this was wrong.
The committee's recommendations come after sometimes emotional hearings in which collegiate women swimmers complained about competing against a transgender athlete at a tournament at Georgia Tech.
You're hurting these transgender kids, and I think it's politically motivated.
It also comes as transgender activists argued that the proposed solutions were disproportionate to the problem in Georgia.
I've heard from a lot of legislators who are supportive of categorical bans who are unable to identify a single transgender athlete in their state, much less a transgender girl in their state.
I recognize that there are passions on both sides of this issue.
Though committee members said they respected the viewpoint of transgender activists, the recommendations came down strongly against them.
I hope that we can recognize that we can do two things at one time. We can both treat people respectfully, but we can also have an eye towards fairness in the legislative process.
That was our Doug Richards reporting. For now, these are just proposed laws. As for actual legislation, the General Assembly will open its 2025 session next month, and Republican leadership could give it traction pretty quickly.